Well, hello, welcome back to our second video on Threshold. If you haven't, make sure to go back and watch the first one. It's an overview, great combat, and we're kind of picking up right where we left off. My guy was not strong enough to successfully complete the level 6 combat. And so, you know what? We're going to take a little bit of a break from combat, and we're going to do some crafting, some vocation crafting, and really just see if we can upgrade some of our gear. It's gonna be completely different, change of pace, but you know what? I kind of don't want to do any combat right now. So let's just collect some materials and go crafting. So just as a little recap, this is what's on my character right now. I have 3 pieces of uncommon material items, which are good, and then I have 1 common. I think my goal is to upgrade this common item, and there's a few things that I can do with it, but I also have this remove impurities, which is my vocation. We can keep that to the side, and then I'm gonna just move aside this board so that we can highlight in on the region board. Here we go. So here's the region board. Perfect. So I got my deck of cards here, and we have our region board. Okay, so we're in Hearthstead, and I think our goal should be to visit the blacksmith in Hearthstead. So let's just take a look at the blacksmith here. The blacksmith, it's a landmark action. Spend 15 gold and 2 minerals. Discard 2 common items of the same type and draw uncommon cards until you draw the same type. So we have our dented plate mail. This is what's equipped right now. It's just a common armor, and so that's I think the focus is to upgrade that. So we need 15 coins and some minerals. We don't have 15 coins, but I have an idea. We have a set number of vocation points, and so vocation points, you gain vocation points, and they're tracked on this dial, which buy your vocation cards. They're tracked on the dial, and the dial goes up to 10. As soon as you hit 10 vocation points, that's the max, but that is the currency to get more vocation cards, and you can do that in town. So first things first, we need to try to get a new vocation recipe, and I believe we can do that. Vocation Square, purchase, spend 10 coins to purchase that, or purchase a tier 1 or tier 2 recipe. Okay, so let's do that. First things first, I'm going to use my remove impurities ability. It costs 3, so I have to discard 3 cards. And it costs 2 minerals. I get to search my deck and remove any number of status effects from my deck or my hand, so that's fantastic. But most importantly for this, I get to increase my VP to 10. And so I'm going ahead and I'm doing that on my dial. And now I'm going to spend a card to do the Vocation Square action to purchase a tier 1 or tier 2 recipe. And so I'm going to purchase Forge Steel. So Forge Steel is 10 VP, that's all. It doesn't have any prerequisites. And I'm going to purchase that. To do Forge Steel, I have to spend 2 minerals and 2 coins, and I get to gain 1 common weapon. But I want to do this several times. And the best way to do that is I can get more minerals, and so I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna go do some mining. So I'm gonna spend my last card. I'm gonna move my guy, and you know what? Just because I like using. There it is. We're gonna use my miniature for traveling. We have tokens and miniatures and standees for your characters. Tokens obviously is for when you're saving the game between sessions. So that's great. I have an objective. I'm gonna go do some mining. I mine at these crystals here, and crystals there, Are those the only two? Or there? So those are the places I can go mine at. But that's it for my turn. So I'm gonna roll the region die. Region die, it is enemy movement 2. So I look at the closest enemy mob. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, so this one's closest. He's gonna move two locations towards me. 1, 2. That's okay. If he was here, he would have moved 1, and then the second one would have engaged in combat with me. Thankfully, I'm gonna run away because I don't want to do combat right now. I don't want to do combat right now. Okay, so I would have driven, would have drawn my 5 cards previously. Again, I'm not really caring about what the cards are at the moment because I just have a goal. It's a little bit nerve-wracking to get up there, but let's try. So I'm gonna spend 1 to move on the road here, 2 to move there, 3, 4 to move there. I have 1 card left. That's all. I'm gonna discard it. I'm gonna draw my next set of 5 cards. And you know what? This is where I am, I have to increase my fatigue. So my fatigue's gonna be at 1. And I hope I don't get another 2 movement. Okay, adventure. That's great. So I'm gonna take the adventure deck and I am going to draw a card. It's a chest. Oh, rumors speak of a hidden chest buried deep in the Heartland Prairies. Its location revealed only to you. The wind carries the promise of treasure and the unknown. Will you claim it? That is fun. So I can go and potentially get a chest. Where is that? It's right here. Okay. Well, let's finish what I'm doing first, and then we can do that afterwards. So I'm gonna spend 2 cards. I'm gonna move in here. And then I am going to mine. Mine, I spend a card. Now I do, I initiate the challenge. And we see the action on the back here of the region book. So my success range is between 5 and 7. It's using body. So I have a +1, plus or minus 1 if I draw a card with the keyword body. Success is a mineral. Success is mineral. Bonus, which is the highest value. So if I get a 7, I get a second mineral. And then failure is enemy movement, which would result in combat. Okay, that's going to result in combat. So let's not succeed, or let's not fail. I need 5 to 7. We'll flip from the card. So I have 3. I could plus or minus 1 with the body, but I'm not going to. 3, 4, 5. Oh no. Forged steel costs 2, and I have 3, and I want to do it twice. I'm gonna hold off. Yeah, I'm gonna take my victory, which is just my 1. These cards go in the discard. That's okay. You know what? I'm fine with that. And now I have 2 cards. I am going to try to piece out of here so I don't get attacked. Oh, another adventure card. But I can't resolve the adventure card because I have an ongoing one. So I'm gonna leave that, and we'll keep on going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so let's get this chest before I do anything else. Spend 2 cards, move here. 2 cards, move here. And I'll discard that card because it's not enemy movement. Moves 1 into me, which is actually fine. I'm gonna draw 2. My discard, or my fatigue is going up. My fatigue's at 2. 1, 2, 3. And now we're doing a new round here. So let's move 2. Boom, and then let's do the chest. So I'm gonna spend 1 card to attempt to lockpick. So you'll see this on the screen. Thankfully, this is an easier one. Wow, with a great reward. So lockpicking, how it works is there's tumblers, and I have to successfully get the numbers from top to bottom. So how it works with this one is I'll draw 2 cards from the top of my deck, and I have to get either a 1 or a 2. If I get a 1 or a 2, I succeed and I go to the next one. If I get a 2 or a 4, succeed, go to the next one. A 3 to 2, succeed, go to the next one. The thing with lockpicking is that luck cards count as a plus or minus 1. And so I hope, and the reward here is incredible. It's 2 uncommon dice, loot dice, which I really want. So let's get a 1 or 2. That's not good. Okay, so the 2 I take, and then the other card gets shuffled back into my deck. Okay, 2 or 4. I don't know if I have any 4s. That's okay, I got a 2. And then shuffled back into my deck. 3 or 2. I have lots of 3s and I have lots of 2s. I think I have this. Yes. Boom, boom, boom. So I have 2, 2, 3. I have successfully picked that lock. This card goes back into the deck, and I get 2 loot dice, uncommon loot dice, which is going to be really beneficial. And now, for the end of my turn, I'm going to do my crafting action. So I'm going to spend 2 cards. I'm going to perform Forged Steel, which is costs 2 minerals and 3 coins. Sorry, 2 coins. I get 3 back. And then I get to draw gain 1 random common weapon. So I'm just going to draw common cards until I get a weapon. Oh, here we go. Just a cracked staff. That's fine. Technically, just a cracked staff, but I also gain a vocation point, which is good. So I got a cracked staff. Fantastic. Okay. Oh no. Enemy movement 2. 1, 2. I wasn't really in the mood for combat, but that's okay. We're here. We're gonna do combat. So it's a it's a random combat, difficulty 2. We can see that by the mob token. So let me just put this to the side, and I'm going to grab the personal combat board. This is just every character gets one of these small combat boards, and then let's open up to the random combat encounters. So this is difficulty 2 is on this map. Scenario threat level 4, reward 5 experience points. So scenario threat level is going to use the tokens from every enemy that we have fought so far, and these enemies are going to go into the bag, and then we're going to populate the map based off of this, the threat level of the enemies that we're drawing. So we'll see if I can have all these things showing at once here. So here's the threat table. Here's the setup. We're going to draw the first one, which is, oh no, I drew the masked demon. Actually, that's fine. So this is the masked demon, which means that the masked demon is going to go on spot here, and my character, where's my character at? My character, you know what? Let's use my miniature. My character can go on any one of these spots. I'm gonna go here. Yeah, you'll see why I'm gonna go there in just a moment. I'm gonna go there, and now we do combat. So I'll grab the masked demon's cards. I don't intend to stay long in this combat. You'll see in a moment. I don't intend to stay long, but we'll see if I can get out of there quickly. Okay, so I rolled the dice at the end of the round, which means that it's the start of a new round. So typically in combat, enemies never go first, typically. So I could stay and fight, but what I actually want to do is to retreat. And I know that doesn't sound very virtuous, and it doesn't really sound like my character, but I think for me, that is a-okay. So retreat, the rule for retreat is while in a hex on the edge of a combat board, a character may spend 5 cards to leave combat. If all characters retreats, okay, so I can spend 5 cards to leave combat. Which is funny because if the enemy moves, it could just like trigger again, and then it could literally just trigger again. But you know what? That's okay. I'm gonna let's spend 2 cards. We're gonna run to the edge of the map here, and I'm gonna just discard the rest because I don't really care too much. I'm gonna draw my new hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, I could stay and fight, but I kind of want to just leave. It's doing shadow armor. We know what shadow armor is from yesterday. Actually, sorry, yeah. We know what shadow armor is from yesterday, so we're fine there. All right, we are going to we're gonna spend all 5 of these cards to do an action, but kind of a cool thing with Second Wind is that I get to draw a card for doing the action. So it's gonna leave me with at least 1, and we're retreating. Okay, so I'm gonna go back on the board. Before I tear down this setup, we're back on the board, and I have 1 card in my hand. I am going to spend that card. Okay. So I'm spending that card to teleport back to town. Because to teleport, you should spend all the cards in your hand. I had 1 card in hand, and I'm teleporting back to Hearthstead. Good riddance. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just perform a rest action, because the rest action gets me everything I want to do anyways. I can kind of do all the actions on my turn while I'm resting. So let's kind of get to crafting here. And remember, holy, I forgot I have two dice. But before I roll these dice, I'm gonna do another crafting. So all these actions, you know, you can spend cards for free basically while you're doing the rest action. So let's forge some steel again. Spend two here, and let's see what card I get. I get Age Chainmail. This is fantastic because I needed 2 pieces of armor in order to smash them together and get a tier or an uncommon armor of the same type with a blacksmith action. So that's good. I'm gonna roll my dice because I'm in town. I got an uncommon and a common. Okay, so I got Soul Orb and Straight Dagger, which, you know, pretty sweet cards. So I'm running into a little bit of an issue here. The issue is that these are all the items I have. Or all the items I have not equipped. The issue is that I need 15, I believe it's 15 coins to do the upgrade action for Hearthstead. Yes, 15 coins and 2 minerals, which I don't have. Oh, and very important, after you mine at a location, this is a rule I forgot. After you mine at a location, you place a completed token on it, and then when you rest in town, that completed token's removed. You can't do an action. You can't mine at the same place more than once. So that would be removed though, and I didn't cheat. I just forgot to put that on there. So we're in a little bit of a tricky spot where I don't know if I have enough coins. I could sell. I have a lot of stuff I could sell. So like rounded, I got 3 6, 8, 12, 15. If I sold everything here, plus that one, but I don't have my minerals. I don't have my minerals, but I'm back at town. So I should have just been fighting enemies. Sometimes it's easier just to be fighting enemies. You know what? Let's just, I have a whole wealth of stuff here. I am going to I really want to craft this. Okay, so let's go do a mineral run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, I should really do stuff like quests and whatnot, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go there. I don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? Let's go here too. 3, 4, 5. Spend that. Okay, blink. Nice. Nothing happens in the overworld. I'm going to dip in. Boom. Do mine. I need 7 to get 2. Okay, so 2. And then I think mine is body plus or minus 1. 2 plus 3 is 5. I'm going to minus 1 here, so I'm going to be 4 because it's a body. Oh, wow. Genius move. Plus 3. That's 7. So I get my 2 minerals. And so these discard. I get my 2 minerals. I have 2 cards left. I'm going to scoot out of there. Don't attack me. Thank you. We get the Broken Wheel Adventure. Farmer Dell is struggling to repair a broken cartwheel. I gotta get these cucumbers to market before they go bad. I'm in a real pickle. Can you lend a hand? Lift the cart. So I get some options here. Lift the cart while Dell repairs the wheel. Find a rock to place under the axle. Provide materials to mend the cracked wheel. I have materials. Let's do that one. I'm pretty good at lifting stuff, but I am gonna provide materials. Okay, he melds your materials into the wheel in a seamless repair. Perfect, he says. Thanks for your generosity. Heal 3, doesn't matter. Gain Empowered Boon, that's nice. And gain Empowered Boon, and then what? Shuffle in Adventure AH36. Cool. So I shuffle in an adventure to the adventure deck. That one goes away, and interesting to see where that story potentially goes. All right. So I have 5 cards. Oh, I should have teleported. Oh, you can't teleport while you're in a region location with a mob. That's okay. I'll teleport now. Go back to town. I place this there. Remove it because I'm resting. And I finally get to do my stinking upgrade. So we're in town. I'm going to sell all these pieces of good for, it's going to be for 16 gold. I'm going to spend most of that right now. I'm going to spend 15 of that to combine these two with the blacksmith action. So I'm combining the dented plate mail and the aged chainmail with the 2 minerals. And I get to draw uncommon cards until I get armor card. So, soul orb, accessory, enchanted cloak. Well, it's not the one I wanted. Enchanted cloak, conjuration 2. So let's just go ahead and let's take a look at the conjuration cards, because you know what, I haven't really thought about this, but maybe my guy gets a little magic in him. He hasn't been super magical yet, so maybe he just needs some magic to really get going here. So I have, if I equip this enchanted cloak, I get conjuration 2, which is 2 skill points worth of in conjuration. I could get spectral sword, which is start of turn, add 1 counter. End of turn, you may target an enemy in your zone or an adjacent zone, deal 2 damage for each counter, then discard this card. That's pretty cool. So it's like builds up, builds up, builds up, boom. Okay, so there's lots of spectral swords. I could get the ethereal dagger. When you're attacked by an enemy that's adjacent or in your zone, or an enemy moves adjacent to you or into your zone, deal 5 damage to that enemy, then discard this card. That's not bad. Conjuration's great. Okay, so Ethereal Dagger is a 2. And then I don't have enough for drawing power, but you know what? I'm putting Ethereal Dagger into my deck. It's a cost 1, it's delayed. Enemies move adjacent to me all the time. If I would have had this card, I think I would have won that fight. I also got rid of some of my dashes because we recognized that the dashes weren't all that great. And there we have it. I say there we have it, but let me put this here. Enchanted Cloak. I have 2 spaces for affixes that I can equip eventually, which will be sweet. We're still a little bit away from that, but I'm happy with the no combat pacifist movement that I just did. Got my Enchanted Cloak. I got a new card for my deck. I think I'm ready to tackle that level 6 quest and hopefully not die on the last turn this time. Great. Hey, thanks for joining me. This was a little brief high-level overview, or not high-level, we got into the weeds a little bit, of just a completely different way that you can play Threshold, where I was just focused on crafting, which is just like really 2 things. I ended up getting a chest, which was fun. There's an adventure that I think is going to have an ongoing story. I really haven't explored much. There's all these towns. They all have unique landmark actions, but I was really just wanting to do this one thing. Oh yeah, I guess I got some vocation points, so I'm upgrading my vocation a little bit and progressing there. Really happy about that, and we'll see kind of where it goes from here. But thanks for joining, and hopefully we'll catch you around.